Good evening and welcome inside Geisman Gymnasium for some men's basketball on this Wednesday night of February. We welcome you to the broadcast booth. I'm Carter Gledhill, joined by Macy Klein as we're ready for this Wednesday night showdown between the Lake Forest Foresters and the CUC Cougars. Macy, it's been a rough stretch here for the Cougars. They're 0-8 on the season, but they're back home now, and they'll have another two games later this weekend. What's something that they might be looking for in the return to home that might help them push over the Foresters tonight?
One thing we'll talk about later, Carter, is the fact that the Foresters are a very young team. And the Cougars so far this year have kind of dealt with some of those things with, injuries due to COVID, like injuries from off the court, things due to COVID. So they're used to playing with the young team. They know what it's like to be taken advantage of in that aspect. So really seeing how the Foresters' young team can adapt to the Cougars.
The Cougars are definitely with a lot of youth, as we've mentioned, some of the freshman stars on the team, Justin Greenlee, as well as Justin Greenlee, as well as Emmanuel Wilson are two freshmen that have made tremendous impacts for the Cougars on the year. And the offense has struggled compared to last year. Cougars right now scoring 62 points per game. Last year, 79.4. In addition to that, they're without a lack of height, without Landon Gladney playing this season. They rebounded 38 boards per game last year, 25.4 in this year. But I guess one bright spot is your junior from St. Rita, is Jordan Matthews. He's got a team-high 16 points per game, 44% from the field. Macy, Cougars' offense right now is looking to be running through Jordan Matthews. What's been something that separated him from the pack and has made an impact right now in his first season with the Cougars?
Definitely his persistence. He came out a little weak at first with shooting, kind of not used to seeing the court as it's been a while since they've all played due to everything going on with COVID. But he's definitely made an impact, and he definitely is something that the Cougars have used to their advantage so far.
Jumping over to the Foresters side, Lake Forest finished last year 13-13. One thing they might want to notice tonight is Sean Espinosa is out. The team's leading scorer from last season is out, and they're going to be with 10 of the 14 players on tonight's roster currently are freshmen. So a lot of youth between the Cougars, and certainly a lot of youth from the Forester side. Macy, you're key to the game for tonight's chance for the Cougars to take a victory.
One thing I would say that the Cougars need to do is use their young team to their advantage, especially because the Cougars have such a young team already, and they have done a great job of using them, and they've been asked to step into this huge role. And freshmen are pretty confident on the Cougars for sure.
We're going to take a moment here for the national anthem, and the starters will be back after you with this short break.
Let's meet the starting lineups for tonight. First, for the visiting Foresters. At wing, sophomore from Libertyville, Illinois, 6'4", number 15, Johnny Roser. At forward, a freshman, 6'5", from Highland Park, Illinois, number 21, Val Oplachetsky. At guard, 6-foot freshman from Chicago, Illinois, number 22, Andre Bennett. At forward, a junior, 6'7", from Naperville, Illinois, number 25, Kurt Kuzertis. And at wing, 6'4" freshman from Ladera Ranch, California, number 35, Adam Weingard. And now let's meet the starting lineup for your Concordia University Cougars. At guard, a sophomore, 6'4", from Olney, Illinois, number 10, Brett Hatton. At guard, a freshman from Brown Deer, Wisconsin, 6'1", number 1, Justin Greenlee. At guard, a 6'1" junior from Chicago, Illinois, number 12, Jordan Matthews. At guard, a 6'3" junior from St. Joe, Michigan, number 14, Isaac Rudel. And at guard, a senior, 6'4", from Edwardsville, Illinois, number 22, J.J. Schwartz.
There you have it from the public address announcer, Alex Campbell, as we're going to go over the starters one more time. And a big name, Macy, coming back to the lineup for the first time this season is Brent Hatton. Brent Hatton, the team's highest scoring returner, averaging about 10 points a game last year. He had the third most starts on the team, 19, most of them on any freshman. And he's been a true shooting threat. He can pull up from behind the arc. He can also drive into the paint, so make sure to look out for him if you're a fan of the Cougars. He's wearing 10. Forrester is in all black, red and white trim jerseys. Cougars in their white home jerseys with maroon and gold trim. Hatton and Kazaritz at center court to tip off. And game underway. Ball is batted all the way down as Greenlee will get the ball, and the Cougars have the first possession of the game. A lot of spread offense for the Cougars. They'll switch it around every once in a while. And Isaac Rudel, one of those guys that they're going to try to get the ball to. He's one of the shooters, had some struggles this year, but he can pull up with 44% from last year. Swinging over to Hatton. Pump fake shot, drive to the basket, out to Schwartz. He'll do the same. Shot clock winding down, blocked in the paint by Kazaritz. And the Foresters pushing the other way. Bennett with the ball. Tipped away by Greenlee. Hatton finds the ball. Going down the court, makes contact off the backboard too much. As a missed chance there for the Cougars. Macy, that's one part of the game that the Cougars have struggled with this year, is giving the ball away not only on the offensive side, but lack of conversion when they do get the turnovers.
Absolutely, and unfortunately there's nothing you can do when you hit your shots except get it back on the defensive end.
Cougars running a lot more slow-tempoed offense compared to last year. As we mentioned earlier, 62 points per game is what they average. Hatton, baby hook, little too short. Corralled by Rosaire, and he's going to bring it up the court. Last season, Rosaire with Loras College, played in 10 games. So transfer making his first start for the Foresters. Commanding the offense, running the perimeter. As an entrance pass going over the wing, Rudel guarded down. Oplachetsky too strong off the other side. And both teams missing some easy shots inside of the paint, but contested D has been one reason we've seen the ball go away. Rudel drives, spin around, finds Schwartz under the basket, two guys on him, kicked out to Greenlee. He'll shoot up a three, and that ball is off the mark. Isaac Rudel with the offensive rebound. He'll shoot it, and that's going in for the first basket of the game. Interesting enough, Isaac Rudel is one of the top rebounders on the team. He's 6'3", but he manages to get 4-5 boards a game. As Bennett steps out of bounds, that'll be a turnover, and the Cougars get the ball going the other way. It's already almost 2.5 minutes into this game. The Cougars have already put up 5 shots. Last possession, Rudel's shot was the only one that goes in. Matthews, nice step back. Side off the backboard and into the hands of the Foresters. Bennett tries to put a move on Hatton, uses his shoulder, drives baseline. Looked like Hatton might have got a hand on it, but it might have hit side backboard too. Greenlee pushing tempo, pulls it out, and he finds a side on the right, and that one almost looked to be blocked. It looks like the refs are going to let these boys play tonight. Lots of contact already. They get split defender from Roser. Into the corner, swung around, and an offensive foul is called as a charge. Brett Hatton taking the beating under the paint. Foul is going to be called on Kurt Kozeritz.
Fouls on number 25, Kurt Kozeritz, his first, team's first.
As we've got an early timeout here from Ken Davis and the Foresters. 30-second timeout. And we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with you in a few. Welcome back inside of Geisman Gymnasium. I'm Carter Gledhill, joined by Macy Klein, as it's been a low-scoring affair in the first almost 3 minutes of this game as we undergo to the 17-minute mark. In for the game now, William Bishop Green and Emmanuel Wilson for the Cougars. Brett Hatton and Isaac Rudel will take a seat on the bench. You get an early break. As we mentioned, Jordan Matthews, one of the focal points of the offense, just kicked it out to Greenlee. Bishop Green wanted to put up a shot. That hits too far. Emmanuel Wilson inside. Offensive board, no good. Looked like it hit Wilson, but Foresters get the last touch on the ball. So it'll stay down under the hoop for the Cougars.
Cougars have already done a great job so far of kind of slowing down, getting moved into an offense, and looking for a better shot.
Zach Foster and Frank Segan checking in for the Foresters. Jay Schwartz pump fakes, look for the baseline pass, but too high for William Bishop Green. Bishop Green's made some good impacts. He had season-high 10 points back on the 10th against Wabash. In his last game against Rockford, 8 points and 2 steals. So Coach Kohler utilizing the freshman class a lot this year as a shortened season, but also because of some of the issues with COVID-19. There's a nice pass under the hoop from Weingard. Finds its guy. And the Foresters are on the board. Point by Frank Segan. Cougars versing the ball outside. Good move by Matthews. Get the defender off. Wilson from 3. Sinks it. Foresters try to push tempo. Matthews hit it out of bounds, though.
In for the Cougars, number 0, Jordan Schmidt, number 15, Kenta Jones, and returning number 14.
And into the game now for the Cougars. Jordan Schmidt, Kenta Jones, and Isaac Rudel will make his way back onto the court. Kenta Jones, one of the fifth-year seniors on this team, appeared in all 8 games last year, and he started the first 5 games of the year for the Cougars. That shot was off the mark for the Foresters, and he'll bring the ball up but give it back to Rudel. Rudel finds some room in the paint, gets fouled, can't get the basket to fall, but he'll go to the line for 2.
Fouls on number 34, Frank Segan, his first, 2 second, and the line shooting 2.
So Frank Segan called for the foul. Rudel at the line to shoot 2 free throws. Misses the first. Cougars as a team shooting 70% by the charity stripe. Rudel 78% on the season. Sinks the second one to give the Cougars a 4-point advantage. Weingard contested by Wilson. Weingard up, floats it off the rim, can't get it. Offensive rebound, but swatted away by Rudel. Kenta Jones sprinting up the right side, finds Wilson, who swings to Rudel. Cougars showing that the offense is going to have a little more gas in the engine today. As Rudel goes again to the paint. Kenta Jones, wide open three, and he knocks it down.
A lot better tempo this game for the Cougars.
Tempo on the perimeter. More energy, too, from the Cougars. But Josh Roser converts a basket, knocks it in. The sophomore from Libertyville, Illinois. Bishop Green kicking it over to Jones. He's thinking about it, gets knocked down. Jordan Schmidt from three, and he sinks it.
Ooh, I think a lot more confidence coming from the Cougars so far tonight, too, Carter.
Back-to-back three-pointers for the Cougars, but an and one foul called. And Andre Bennett converts the play, and he'll head to the line.
Basket's good. Fouls on number 3, William Bishop Green.
Foul called on William Bishop Green. First foul called on the Cougars tonight. But Macy, the tempo for the Cougars, I mean, back-to-back threes, but they're sprinting up and down the court a lot faster. What are some of the adjustments that you've seen that they've made from the past games where they lost both games to Rockford and to now?
You know, it's hard to say with a young team, like I've mentioned before, but just having everybody back and getting back to some kind of normalcy, it helps.
So Johnny Roser had an offensive board and fouled back on the way up, so he'll go to the line. So Bennett couldn't convert the and one opportunity.
Team second, the line shooting 2, Johnny Roser.
Roser knocks down the first. Checking back into the game for the Cougars, Brett Hatton. And in for the first time for the Foresters, Parker LePage, a freshman from Plymouth, Michigan. Roser misses the second free throw, and it's a 5-point ball game. Jordan Schmidt, the sophomore, has made some impressive moves into the lineup. Didn't appear in a game last year, but he's found his way into several this year. As Hatton gives it back to Schmidt, pump fake, drives baseline, throws it up, and a blocking foul is going to be called. Schmidt's going to go to the line.
Fouls on number 30, Parker LePage.
Parker LePage called for the foul.
At the line shooting 2.
Forrester's already with 3 fouls. And Schmidt will shoot the free throws. First miss of the season for Schmidt. He was 4 of 4 before that, now 4 of 5. But the Foresters also struggling right now. They're 1 of 7. Their last couple trips down to the offensive side. Schmidt knocks down the second free throw. Make it a 2-possession game. You see Coach Kohler, Coach and Wilson, contested D on Roser. Schmidt knocks the ball away, corralled on the floor. Odd man rush, Rudel going up and fouled and one. Isaac Rudel gets the outlet pass from Kenta Jones and is going to the line for a possible 3-point play.
Fouls on number 35, Adam Weingard, his first, team's 4th.
Foul called on Adam Weingard, and another timeout taken by Ken Davis and the Foresters. Cougars showing some early life and energy as we'll come back after this. Welcome back inside of Geisman Gymnasium as we've got the Lake Forest Foresters taking on the CUC Cougars in some men's basketball on this Wednesday night. Cougars jump out to a 15-7 lead early. And Macy, we've seen something that the Cougars have struggled with early on in the season, and that's the 3 points actually being their friend as of right now.
Absolutely. Normally it takes them a while to start hitting their shots, and even if all for right now so far, they're 3 of 4 from the line, which is looking good.
So 4 of the 5 starters for the Cougars have scored points. The only one without any is Brett Hatton. So they're dishing the ball around very well for the Cougars as Rudel completes the 3-point play. We'll get a substitute in here for the Foresters. Adam Weingard coming in for Zach Foster. As that ball's tipped away, but corralled back by Oplachensky. But Cougars applying full court pressure, and Wilson's been taken on Bennett, and a carry and a turnover. That's the 4th turnover right now for the Foresters, giving another chance for the Cougars to score some points.
That's something we haven't seen a lot this season with the Cougars applying full court pressure, and like my coach always says, pressure is opportunity, and they just need to do more of that.
Hatton falling down on the layup, couldn't get it. And that one's floated off the right side of the basket. Adam Weingard, he gets his first points of the game. So Weingard, Bennett, and Roser are the only 3 to score for the Foresters. Roser with 5 points leading them all. As Rudel drives, shimmies his way through some defenders and floats it in. As Rudel has an easy 8 points to start this game. Entrance pass tipped by Rudel. We've been saying his name a lot tonight. Kenta Jones kicking it around, but gets it to Hatton, who kicks it over to Wilson for 3. No good. Bennett with the rebound. 2-man pressure on the ball. Someone's open. Foresters trying to find him. Baseline drive from LePage. Kick over to the corner. Oplachensky left that one just short of the rim. Kenta Jones to Wilson. Finds his man, uses his pivot really well. And Wilson gets his first points. And that's blocked in the paint, rejected. And it's going to say, going to the Cougars, as LePage touched the ball out of bounds. J.J. Schwartz checking into the game. Justin Greenlee checking in, and for the first time tonight, Jaron Gaddy, the sophomore from Louisville, Kentucky, will check in.
And for Lake Forest, number 14, Jamal Clark.
Jamal Clark will also check in for the Foresters. As the Cougars are at a point right now, we're not very few in the season, a double-digit lead, and Matthews extends it to 14. Matthews with his first basket of the game.
Cougars are definitely utilizing those gaps in between the offense and looking for the best shot possible.
That's another missed 3, and a foul is going to be called as Jamal Clark drags J.J. Schwartz to the ground. But Macy, as you mentioned, Cougars are finding the holes in the defense right now. What are the Foresters doing that are allowing the Cougars to find those holes and drive to the basket?
Plugging gaps is huge, especially on each drive. What the Cougars are doing is they're driving in, pulling the defense into the paint while they're also looking for the open shots, what they've been hitting so far.
Cougars on a 7-0 run in the last 2 minutes. Got 8 points in the paint, but let's not mention they're shooting 4 of 6 from behind the three-point arc right now. As Gaddy looking for some help and swings it back over to Schwartz. But Cougars are spreading the Foresters out all around right now. Shot clock down to 6. Matthews kick to Greenlee. He'll kick it back out to Gaddy with a 3. And he makes it. So off the bench, Jaron Gaddy with some points. As Bennett drives in, loses the handle, grabbed out of the air by Schwartz. And Greenlee is pushing tempo. Gaddy again swings it over to Matthews. Can he hit it? No, he can't. But Clark with the rebound. trying to slow things down here as the Cougars are piling on the pressure, up 15 points as we near the halfway mark of the first half. Foul's going to be called as Weingart goes to the ground. J.J. Schwartz called for the foul. We got some subs coming in. Emmanuel Wilson checking in, as well as Val Oplachensky. And into the game, we got a 4-man line change. We got Jack Fleming coming in, Frank Segan, Johnny Roser. Bennett's going to stay out there. And Kurt Kozaretz is in. Matthews gets the ball, swings it over to Gaddy. And Gaddy, with 5 points already, he's making an impressive move off the bench. He had 5 points on the season coming into this game. Spin move in the paint from Roser. 7 points for Roser. He's leading the team. All other scorers for the Foresters with 4. Schwartz taking a man in the paint. Greenlee pulls up just outside of the block and knocks it down. And Cougars seem to be firing on all cylinders here in the first half. Good move into the paint by Roser, but couldn't finish. But Kozaretz is there to finish it off. Timeout taken by the Cougars. But the Cougars with a 17-point lead in the first half, behind the efforts of Rudel and many other impressive forces for the Cougars. We're going to keep it here. Macy, Jaron Gaddy just came off the bench and scored 5 points. But I think the most impressive thing right now for the Cougars is the tempo that they're playing at. How is that affecting the style of play for the Foresters?
It's definitely taking a toll on the Foresters. The Cougars are obviously gaining a lot more confidence. They're filling in gaps in the offense. They're looking for the open shots. They're hitting their open shots. The Foresters, I'm not hearing any talking. Communication could be key here, and just plugging those gaps and getting to the line on the defensive end is going to be huge for them.
So the Foresters playing their first game of the season. They went 13-13 last year, but 2 check-ins real quick for the Cougars. The freshman Andres Luludis checking in. And Isaac Rudel back into the game. But the Foresters, 10 of 14 players on the rosters are freshmen. So the inexperience playing a toll in some of these guys' first collegiate game. Wilson rejected at the board by Johnny Roser, who's pushing tempo. Does try to do a Euro step, but a foul is called by Greenlee. Got a little bit too much hand there than ball. But another notable miss right now for the Foresters, and they're missing him deeply, is Sean Espinosa. Started 18 games last year, averaged almost 17 points. It was supposed to be a huge addition right now for the Foresters in the offense. So Roser knocks down the first free throw. Misses the second, so he's 2 of 4 on the day. Jordan Matthews at the point. He only got 3 points, but we haven't had to say his name as much with all the help he's getting from his supporting cast. As the Cougars are dishing it out to everybody. Wilson to Matthews for 3. Yes! Jordan Matthews. Both baskets for him coming from behind the arc. He's now 2 of 3 from behind the tray line. And that ball is dribbled off Bennett's foot. And another turnover for the Foresters. Macy, 9 turnovers for the Foresters right now. Cougars only 1.
The Cougars are definitely putting a lot more pressure on the Foresters and the Foresters on the Cougars. And that's really helping them, hence why they have so many more turnovers.
Foresters have been sticking in this man-man defense half court for a majority of the game. Cougars still finding a way to collapse inside as well as shoot the ball outside. Wilson for 3. He misses brick. Rebound by Luludis as he gets the board. That's stolen away. Roser on the ground. Wilson gets it though. And a big pass from Schmidt to Kenta Jones as he resets the offense. Schmidt, turnaround J, blocked. And the ball is loose around and kicked over to Roser. Kick ball by Kenta Jones. Going to stay with the Foresters.
Number 12, Jordan Matthews.
Jordan Matthews coming back onto the court after a quick break at the Gatorade cooler to get some water. But it's been all Cougars here so far. 7:56 left to play in the first. Cougars up 33-14. Roser's trying to do something with the offense. He does. He converts. And Roser now with 10 points. He's leading all scorers in the game. His team still down 17. Rudel, 3. No good. Roser gets the rebound. Another one of those Euro step moves by Roser. And back-to-back possessions for Roser. Back-to-back baskets. And Rudel starting the offense. Matthews over to Kenta Jones. Rudel for 3. He gets the shooter's bounce and knocks it through. One of the concerns if you're a Cougar fan into this game was Rudel was only shooting 21% from behind the arc.
Now they're all feeling it tonight.
He's able to knock down one today. And as a team, the Cougars are shooting 58%. Definitely helping them out right now. 18-point lead.
Also for the Cougars, number 22, J.J. Schwartz.
J.J. Schwartz into the game. Coming out of the game for the Foresters was Jamal Clark. Adam Weingard into the game. Roser trying to do the same thing he's done 2 possessions earlier. Didn't work. Matthews to Hatton. Bishop Green, good ball movement by the Cougars. Kenta Jones can't convert. And Jones swats it away, allows his teammates to get behind him, stop the odd man rush. Corner 3 from LePage. His shot's off. Collision, but Roser gets the rebound. And that ball's going baseline. Last touch by Weingard on the baseline, and the Cougars are going to get the ball. So Isaac Rudel is going to check out of the game. Off to a hot start, 11 points, 4 or 5 from the field. He's coming off a good weekend as well. Season high 25 points in their last game against Rockford. Cougars swinging it around. Hatton still hasn't gotten a bucket in his first game of the season. Dishes it over to Schwartz. Shot clock down, and Schwartz knocks it in. Cougars out to a 20-point lead. The largest lead for the Cougars of the season. You can attribute that to the high-paced tempo on offense as well as the pressure defense, as Roser has been trying to do everything for the Foresters. Couldn't get that one to fall, though. Matthews, corner 3 from Jones. And that's no good. Matthews gets the offensive board, is tripped up, no foul called. LePage gets it. Floats it up to Foster, and he's going to be smart and take it back up, but Jones is going to be right there with him in his pocket. Floater shot, and that's good. Zach Foster, first points of the game for the freshman from Litchfield Park, Arizona. Long hike out here to River Forest, Illinois, though, for this game. We've seen a lot of snow in the Midwest in the last couple days.
I was gonna say definitely a lot colder.
Macy, you're from Colorado. Anything like this you've seen in the past couple years?
Not this much snow. Up to my knees.
Brett Hatton in the post. Surrounded by black jerseys. Jones, 3, 2, floats it up. Can't get it to go. But another possession, the Cougars have been able to wind down the shot clock. Spin around layup from LePage. Didn't go in, but Frank Segan was there. He played 23 games for the Foresters last year. Averaged 3 points a game. The sophomore from Northbrook, Illinois, alum of Glenbrook North High School. The Cougars have definitely slowed pace a little bit more here in the last couple minutes, as Hatton far from the three, and he knocks it down. Brett Hatton with his first points of the season, and you can see the bench amped up for him.
It's definitely been a long time coming. You could tell he was eager during the beginning to get those first points.
Three from Roser, no good. Offensive board by Weingard. Weingard throws one up, couldn't find anything, and that goes out of bounds. Referee's gonna go to the scores table for a second. Sure, we check something out. Couple substitutions.
Number 4, number 33, Jackson and Gerard Gaddy.
The Gaddy twins coming in for the game. Jackson and Jaron. Jackson making his first appearance. Jaron fired off the bench with 5 points, back-to-back possessions. Jackson's bringing the ball up, and he'll hand it off to Matthews. Open paint. Matthews strong but can't finish. Rebound by Clark. Roser, he's been the one that's run the point so far for the Foresters, as Hatton gets the steal-away pass, dishes it, and rejected. Getting it up was Adam Weingard. He's able to stop a transition basket. Roser for three, and that's knocked down. Coach Kohler's going to call a timeout.
Johnny Roser for 3.
And Roser's been doing everything for the Foresters with 15 points now. We're going to take a timeout, full timeout called by Coach Kohler. Cougars up 41-25 with 3 minutes left to play in the first half. Welcome back inside of Geisman Gymnasium. I'm Carter Gledhill, joined by Macy Klein. And the Cougars, after going 8-0 to start the season, are on pace right now to get their first win of the season. They're up 41-25 early against the Foresters. Emmanuel Wilson checked into the game. Isaac Rudel, Jordan Matthews, William Bishop Green, and Jackson Gaddy out there for the Cougars. Isaac Rudel in for Bishop Green. Trying to find baseline but can't get it. Puts a move on the defender. And an open three for Gaddy. He can't knock it down. And Roser with the rebound. Roser with 6 rebounds, 15 points. Bishop Green with the takeaway. Matthews was the intended receiver of that pass, but it goes out of bounds. So a turnover for the Cougars. That's only their third of the game. They've been able to minimize that. They usually average 17 a game. You can see the difference between ball control and those extra possessions have given the Cougars this 16-point lead.
Yes, absolutely.
As Rudel's going to give it up the court to Bishop Green. He'll stop Gaddy, back to Bishop Green. As Matthews will try to find someone. Wilson's going to travel, and that's going to be another turnover. Zach Foster will inbound it to Adam Weingard. Weingard with 2 points so far, 1 of 5 from the field. Tied with Roser for the most minutes out of the Foresters with 15. As we reach under 2 minutes here in the first half. Matthews for 3. Can't get it. Cougars have cooled off, but Matthews driving into the lane, and he'll get the roll in. A lot of contact there, but Jordan Matthews still with 6 points. 8 points, I should say, after that last one. As Isaac Rudel gets the board. Matthews will get it back. Swing it over to Jackson Gaddy for 3. Yes!
Jackson Gaddy for 3.
The Foresters are really letting the Cougars control their tempo as well. You can see they're a little riled up, trying so hard to get a shot off.
Fouls on number 4, Jackson Gaddy, his first, team's 5th. Returning for the
Foul
Cougars,
called
number
on
10,
Jackson
Brett
Gaddy. Brett Hatton into the game for the Cougars. Jack Fleming in for the Foresters. Been almost a minute and a half of the last Foresters field goal, but that one goes in.
Johnny Roser.
Johnny Roser with another basket. 15 points and 6 rebounds for Roser. As we reach under a minute here in the first half. Hatton wanted a 3, decides to drive it into a sea of black. He can't get that one to go. Roser, contact. And Gaddy's going to get called with a foul. I should say Jackson Gaddy, since both have made appearances in this game. Second foul on Jackson Gaddy. Cougars with 6 fouls. Foresters with 5. But the Cougars have been in the driver's seat of this game since the beginning. Is Roser, he's been contested all night, but has still found a way to get things going on the boards for the Foresters. The spin around shot from Weingard's no good, and Wilson will get the rebound. Shot clock turned off, and the Cougars are going to look to hold for the last shot of the half. Matthews, 1-on-1 right now with Zach Foster. He's going to cross over behind the back, and a foul's called. So Foster with the foul.
Fouls on number 11, Zach Foster, his first, team 6.
First one for Foster, with 7.5 seconds remain on the game clock in this first half.
Back into the Cougars, J.J. Schwartz.
J.J. Schwartz coming into the game. He's going to take out Brett Hatton. Schwartz has 2 points so far in this game. Inbound to Rudel. Rudel looking for Matthews. 5 on the clock. Matthews kicks over to Schwartz, top of the key, and he can't make it to go. Gaddy with the second chance, and that's not going to go in. But the Cougars up 19 in the first half, 46-27 against the Foresters. We'll take a break at halftime, and the Cougars with their first big lead of the season, looking to clinch their first win. Welcome back inside of Geisman Gymnasium. I'm Carter Gledhill, joined by Macy Klein. The Cougars, 19-point lead at halftime, up 46-27 against the Lake Forest Foresters in their first game of the year. Obviously, they are without a big offensive weapon, Sean Espinoza, but stepping up for the Foresters, Johnny Roser has 17 points, leads all scorers, and has been the bright spot for the Foresters offense so far. On the Cougar side of the ball, Jordan Matthews has 8 points, Isaac Rudel 11. He's been coming along lately with some shooting, and impressive was Jaron Gaddy with 5 quick points off the bench. Macy, this team for the Cougars, they're shooting 47% from behind the arc right now, as their season average is 25%. They were 5-7 at one point to start the game. What do you think has led to that improvement that we're seeing right now?
I think they have a little confidence going into this game, knowing that they are a younger team. The Foresters are a younger team, and they're able to take advantage of that because they know what it's like to be taken advantage of in that aspect. I mean, this is definitely a different Cougars team that we've seen from all season. They're hitting their shots. They're finding gaps. Their overall game is amazing right now.
So the Foresters are going to inbound the ball as we switch sides, and the second half is underway. Foresters have a lot of ground to make up as Adam Weingard brings the ball up with 2 points. As Roser, we've talked about him. He's going to drive. He misses the shot. Offensive board by Val Oplachensky. There's his first basket of the game. He's got 3 rebounds to his name, though. And Brett Hatton with the first possession for the Cougars. Jordan Matthews, we've mentioned, leader of this offense, averaging almost 17 points a game. The transfer from Loras College. J.J. Schwartz tries to dump it in from the paint, can't convert. Bennett with the rebound. And he's pushing on Greenlee. Dish over to the side of the paint. Corralled by Koritzik. Can't get it to go. Jordan Matthews steps out.
Out of bounds, Foresters ball.
Kurt Kozaretz, my apologies, with the missed basket. Foresters are going to get the ball on the baseline. Inbounded by Roser. Open shot for Weingard. He knocks it down.
Adam Weingard for 3.
Foresters, only their second made three-point shot on the game. They've attempted 7. Rudel, 3. He misses. Try to answer back and can't convert. Roser pushing tempo. Weingard trying to go double up. He can't make it. Schwartz fighting off a Forester and is able to get it to Matthews, who gives it back. And Matthews driving in, shot block, gets his own rebound, and is able to sink it. Jordan Matthews now in double-digit points. Roser double-teamed. Cougars shifting up their defensive schemes. Open shot for Weingard. Step back 3. And he's good. So a timeout by Coach Kohler, because out of nowhere, Adam Weingard, last 3 possessions, knocked down 2 threes. We'll take a quick break and come back after this short break of a timeout. Cougars still up 13 on the Foresters. Welcome back inside of Geisman Gymnasium. The Foresters making some noise so far in the second half. Adam Weingard. He's been going well, shooting the 3 ball. He's looking good. Hatton in the post. He knocks it down.
Right, Hatton.
So Hatton now with 5 points. Roser drives in and gets the N1. He's got a chance to go for 20 points on the night.
Shot is good. Fouls on number 10.
But Johnny Roser, the 6'4 sophomore,
Team's first.
listed as a wing player, and rightfully so, because he's got some speed and good ball handling skills. And he knocks it down, so Roser leads all scorers with 20 points. The Foresters are on a 10-2 run so far to open up the second half. Justin Greenlee trying to find someone to give it to. Matthews will enter it into Schwartz. Puts a move on, spins, hits back iron and rims out. Kurt Kozaritz with the rebound. Shot missed by Weingard, rebound by Schwartz, surrounded by two Foresters, and a foul is going to be called. Foul is going to be called on Val Oplachensky. That's his first foul. With the Foresters right now chopping away at that 19-point lead the Cougars had at halftime. They've cut it down to 12. And this Cougars offense hasn't been able to get those open shots as we've seen in the first half. A lot of closure right there. Flopping warning. I think we're also going to get a block.
Number 22, Andre Bennett. His first.
Andre Bennett with the blocking foul.
In the game for the Foresters, number 11.
So into the game now, Zach Foster and Frank Segan. I think we might have actually seen Bennett. Looked like one of the referees was going to call flop warning on that, but the other ref called a personal foul instead with the block. As Hatton gets the ball inbounded from the baseline, and Greenlee's going to set up shop. He's only got 2 points tonight. Hatton looking for a deep three. He's not going to take it. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Matthews, 3 defenders around him. Now with 1. Can't get it to go. And the Cougars struggling right now in offense when they were seemingly firing all cylinders early. They're 1 of 4 from the field.
The Cougars are taking a lot of contested shots right now. Really testing it.
We've seen a lot more now from the Foresters. 3 or 4 Foresters around. And that one for Roser bounced side to side before falling out and into the hands of Hatton. And Hatton will get a nice long three, and the same thing happens, in and out. Bennett pushing right side. Weingard looking for a three. He'll find it. And again, in and out. Rebound in from Roser, offensive board. Another timeout called by Coach Kohler, as the Foresters seem to have the energy here in the second half. They've cut away. They're only down 10 in the second half. We'll take a quick break and come back after this. Welcome back inside Geisman Gymnasium. I'm Carter Gledhill, joined by Macy Klein. And Macy, We thought the Cougars had all the momentum going into the half, up 19, but the Foresters just came out of nowhere, and now they're only down 10.
During the half, I mean, you can't count out the Foresters. They might have had a lead or whatever. Any team can come out with the same amount of fire that the other team had against them. I mean, you just got to stick to your game and your tempo and try to control the tempo as much as you can.
Bishop Green, good pass in for Rudel, who goes over the shoulder. For another basket, Rudel leads all Cougars with 13 points.
And again, looking to full press here.
Matthews picked the pocket of Roser, out to Rudel for three, and he knocks it down. Isaac Rudel tapping up Matthews after that. Weingard, easy roll into the paint, and he'll sink one.
I got to stop him on the defensive end.
Rudel, another three. Heat check, misses it. Bishop Green with the offensive board, saves it, and swinging over to Matthews. Matthews, step back three, and he knocks it down. Jordan Matthews, now with 13 points and 3 of 5 from the three-point line. Answer back from Andre Bennett. Bennett now with 4 points. As the Cougars and Foresters have been trading blows. Matthews misses, but a foul's going to be called. Foul's called on Johnny Roser.
Fouls on number 15, Johnny Roser, his first.
His first.
Third.
It's going to be a shooting foul. So Jordan Matthews is going to the line, but Coach Kohler adamant about making sure the Cougars pick up someone on the defensive side, because that last possession seemed too easy with that Weingard layup. Matthews misses the free throw. Checking into the game now is Parker LePage for the Foresters. Matthews sinks the second free throw to make it 11 points for him. He's tied with Rudel for team leader in points in the game. Cougars back to that aggressive man-man defense. Long pass over to Roser. He'll find baseline. Swing it back over to Weingard. Weingard three, and he sinks it.
Evan Weingard for three.
Weingard attempted 1-3 in the first half, and now has 2 successful as Emmanuel Wilson is going back to the line.
Fouls on number 11, Zach Foster, his second, team's fourth.
Zach Foster called for the foul, second foul on him. Emmanuel Wilson at the line. The 6'2 guard from Wheaton North High School. He's averaging 27 minutes a game. That's the most among freshmen, second on the team. He hits the second. Cougars' lead is back at 13. As Isaac Rudel is now guarding Roser. Jabs are blown through there on the contact, but Rudel's going to get called with the foul. His first foul of the game. So Zach Foster is going to take the ball out of bounds for the Foresters. And gets it into Roser. Roser's been having a heck of a night with 22 points, 8 rebounds, and also a block. He's been the central point of the offense because no other Forester is even in double digits. Entrance pass in to Segan, and that was too easy with William Bishop Green on him. But Green gets the ball. Reverse layup. And speed got the best of him on that one as he trades it back on Segan. Double team now on Roser. Cougars switching to more aggressive defense here, trying to keep the lead where it's at. Weingard wanted contact, doesn't get the foul. Roser with the offensive board, and he'll go to the line.
Fouls on number 23,
Emmanuel Wilson with the foul. Team first, his first personal, I should say. As Johnny Roser goes to the line. He's now 4-6. Three new Cougars checking into the game. J.J. Schwartz, Brett Hatton, and Jaron Gaddy will replace Wilson, Rudel, and Bishop Green. Right now it seems like Coach Kohler's trying to find the group of 5 guys that are going to gel the most out there. It seems like the combinations that were working in the first half aren't working now. Kenta Jones to Matthews. Matthews drives. Rejected by Roser. Gets his rebound. And a foul's going to be called. Foul's on Adam Weingard.
Fouls on number 35, Adam Weingard.
That's going to be a second foul.
Team's fifth.
So Matthews going back to the line.
Number 12, Jordan Matthews.
81% free throw shooter on the year. One of the best on the team. Sinks the first. And checking in back for the Foresters is Kurt Korzeritz. As well as Val Oplachensky. They're going to replace Frank Segan and Adam Weingard. Matthews hits both free throws. We've seen the lead for the Cougars hover around this 10-14 mark. As it looked like Foster just dribbled it off his foot. And another turnover for the Foresters. One of the problems that plagued them in the first half. They had 12 as a team. That was the first one of the second half. Make it 13. Jaron Gaddy, he had impressive 5 points right off the bench when he came in. He's been quiet ever since. As Kenta Jones in the corner to Matthews, who drives. Looks for someone, and Jones outlet. A height disadvantage and a push in the back. Looks like Schwartz got knocked down by Oblachensky. And Hatton didn't get a hand on it, but the layup was missed by LePage. Jones, underhand pass to Matthews for 3. Yes! Jordan Matthews from 3.
Jones does a really good job of utilizing his speed to push the tempo for the Cougars. He gets them going down the floor into transition and looks for a good shot.
The blocking foul is going to be called on Brett Hatton, and it looks like John Roser is going to be going back to the line.
Fouls on number 10, Brett Hatton, his second, team's fourth.
Kenta Jones with 37 assists on the year. He's one of those guys that does a good job, like you mentioned, Macy, court vision, and especially in the transition game. He's so quick that he can make those kind of passes, and he's accurate with them too.
Returning for the Cougars, number 1, Justin Greenlee.
Justin Greenlee checks in for the Cougars. Roser for the second shot. Misses. Board corralled by Gaddy, given to Matthews. As Gaddy swings it over to Greenlee to Schwartz, he's going to drive. It's kind of the motto for the Cougars, and it's still working. As Schwartz gets another basket, he's now with 4 points. Roser behind the back, swinging it over to LePage. He drives. 4 Cougar defenders deny him, and it squirts all the way out to who misses the basket is Oplachensky. And 1 foul's called. And again, Johnny Roser has been everywhere in the only thing we've seen from the Foresters on the offensive board. Jaron Gaddy with his first foul. But Johnny Roser has been the central point of this. Forrester's comeback that's been going crazy as he knocks it down. Game's been fluctuating between these sporadic bursts of energy from both teams, but it was all Cougars in the first half. They had a 19-point lead going in. So Justin Greenlee, Jaron Gaddy, J.J. Schwartz, Brett Hatton, and Jordan Matthews on the court for the Cougars. As Hatton almost shooting up shot. Jordan Matthews swung out to Gaddy. Matthews. Forrester's playing a little bit more aggressive D with some help side on the bottom. Greenlee for three, and he knocks it down. Justin Greenlee with a three. Ball's tipped out of bounds by Matthews, who tried to save it, but Forrester's ball. There's Weingart's contested by Matthews. Playing ball defense. Weingart's going to try a fadeaway layup. Get the bottom of the net. Schwartz saves it, gives it to Gaddy. Matthews is pushing tempo. Puts a move on, kicks it out to Hatton for a deep three. Oh, and what a bounce from Brett Hatton. Looked like it stopped right on the top of the iron and just dropped in like a putt. Weingart out to Bennett. Forrester's now trying to keep with the Cougars. And a good move by Bennett with the reverse layup. Matthews with the spin. Kicks it out to Hatton for three and hits the front of the iron. Flop warning, though, is going to go. So flop warning. Looks like it's going to be called on Jack Fleming, as the ref indicated number 4. But the Cougars able to corral the energy and keep it going. They're back up to that 19-point lead. So it looked like we had a couple substitutions in. We're just going to run through the lineup right now. Jordan Matthews, Justin Greenlee, Jordan Schmidt checked into the game, J.J. Schwartz, and Brett Hatton. For the Foresters, Andre Bennett, Adam Weingard, Jack Fleming, Val Oplachensky, and Jamal Clark into the game. So full court press from the Cougars. As they found that pressure and the energy that Macy you talked about earlier in the game. But impressive stuff by the Cougars. Seemed like the Foresters had their number when the lead dwindled down to 10, but able to extend it back out to 19 and flip that switch.
Once the Cougars start applying full court pressure, it kind of rattles the Foresters a little bit. Yeah, they went on a run, and yeah, they were only down by 10, but as the Cougars started to apply more pressure, the ball became more loose within the Foresters' hands.
So Jordan Matthews was called with the foul. Going to be baseline inbound. Roser taking it out for the Foresters. Enters is in for Kozaretz. Tries to put a move on Greenlee. Can't get it to go. Jordan Schmidt corrals the layup. 3-on-2 opportunity to Matthews. Kicks it over to Schwartz, and they're going to take it back out. Hatton looked like he was lining up for an NBA 3, but kicks it out. Schmidt for 3, and he knocks it down. Jordan Schmidt with his second 3 of the game. And a timeout called by Ken Davis. It's going to be a full timeout for the Foresters. And the Cougars now to their largest lead of 22 points with 9:10 left to go in the second half. Welcome back inside Geisman Gymnasium as the Cougars regain that spark and now out to their largest lead of 22 points, up 78-56 against the Foresters. And for Ken Davis, it's just been a struggle right here, as it's his first game with this new team. 10 of 14 players are freshmen.
Very hard circumstances to work with for sure.
And great play by Jordan Schmidt. Behind the back, he saved that ball and it knocked off Adam Weingard's leg. So the Cougars are going to get it in the corner.
Into the Foresters, number 30, Parker LePage.
Parker LePage checks in the game, the freshman from Plymouth, Michigan. Refs are discussing one more time for clarification. It was more for Coach Davis's wanting an explanation on that. We're also going to make sure the shot clock and the game clock are all good and we're ready to roll. 9 minutes left in the game. Cougars up 78-56. Rudel for three. A little too far off the backboard. Roser, but Greenlee with the defensive back play. Wilson for a corner three, and he sinks it. Emmanuel Wilson for three. Isaac Rudel with the assist. Cougars out to their largest lead, up 81-56. High glass shot from Kozer. It's not going to fall, but Frank Segan was there for the rebound. And the paint's where the Foresters have been dominating all game. It seemed like that's where all their offense has been. Shooting hasn't been particularly well. Rudel putting the spinorama on Segan, but nothing's going to fall as Weingard's bringing the ball up. Matthews almost tipping away from Roser. Schmidt getting a hand in there. Getting physical in there. Wing shot three from LePage, no good. And it looks like there's going to be a foul called. Foul's going to go against Jordan Schmidt.
Jordan Schmidt, his first, team 7th.
Checking in for the Cougars, William Bishop Green, and for the Foresters, Andre Bennett.
At the line shooting 1-1, Frank Segan.
With that foul on Schmidt, the Foresters are going to go to the line, shoot 1-1. Segan's going to take it. Misses it off to the side, and Rudel gets the rebound and gives it to Matthews. Matthews haven't had as much points in this game, but you can say that the Cougars supporting cast have been helping him out. Falling backwards, going to be a travel. But Macy, if you're Coach Kohler and you're seeing that not only is one of your star players on the team, Jordan Matthews, having a good game, but the rest of your team, the supporting cast, we're talking Isaac Rudel, Brett Hatton coming back, J.J. Schwartz having games. What does that give you confidence going forward into the season with only a few games remaining?
I would definitely find comfort knowing that I've got a deep team. We have players coming off the bench, scoring, utilizing their skills as a team, which, again, is why Kohler recruited them in the first place, but now they're really showing it and being more confident on the court with those skills in this game against the Foresters.
Fouls on number 3,
William Bishop Green credited with the foul, his third foul. Going back to the line is Frank Segan. We just saw this before in the previous possession where he missed the first 1-on-1 opportunity. Shooting foul, though, here as he makes the first free throw. Knocks down the second. And the Cougars get the ball back up 21 with 7:22 left in the game. Jordan Matthews running a pick and roll with Rudel, who pushes off, tries to put a move on Segan, not going to happen. Schmidt, and the offensive foul called. Zach Foster taking the blow from Schmidt. Checking into the game now, Brett Hatton for Emmanuel Wilson. And Foster's going to take it out.
Coaching box violation, technical foul.
So a coaching box violation against the Foresters. So Jordan Matthews at the free throw line shot one free throw. That's what the call on, and that's what the refs were discussing. So Matthew hits the free throw. Foresters are going to keep the ball, though. They're going to resume play. And Roser contested by Matthews. That matchup's been what we've seen for most of the game. Matthews been locked down all over Roser in the second half, though. Bennett driving. Hadn't looked like he got a fingertip on it, and that's why it didn't go in. Jordan Schmidt pushing tempo to Rudel, to corner to Matthews. Cougars keeping that same scheme going with the ball reversals around the wing. Schmidt for three. That's not going to fly, but William Bishop Green with a nice board. Foresters trying to find someone to guard. Looks like they settle into a soft man defense. 10 seconds on the clock. Matthews floats it up and drops it in. Jordan Matthews making his presence known on the offensive board. The three from Foster, toilet bowls in and out. But Johnny Roser there again for the Foresters, able to put that thing in. Under 6 minutes to play in the game. Cougars up 22 on the Foresters, trying to close out what would be their first win of the season. Hatton wanted to set up a three, doesn't get it, kicks it out to Matthews, who throws it over to Bishop Green. Good entrance pass in, and Schmidt is going to go to the line after getting fouled, but it looked like Zach Foster got the worst of it as he's grimacing on the face. His third foul. So both teams will be in the bonus for the remainder of the game. Foresters will be in double bonus with the Cougars at 9 fouls. Next will be 10th. Jordan Schmidt knocking down the first free throw. End of the game now for the Foresters, Adam Weingard. Looking ahead for the Cougars, they're going to be here this weekend as they'll take on Aurora, who's 3-2. It's part of the NAC conference play and conference schedule that's been going on. End of the game now for the Cougars, Kenta Jones and Isaac Rudel, as well as Parker LePage. The Foresters' next game will be on Saturday as they're home against Benedictine at 4 p.m. Foul's going to be called on Rudel, loose ball foul. So that was going up in the air. So Weingard's going to go to the line to shoot 2 free throws.
14, Isaac Rudel, his second, team's 10th.
If you're following along with the box score at home, we apologize for experiencing some technical difficulties. We'll get that sorted out as soon as possible. Weingard, a freshman from Ladera Ranch, California, San Juan Hills High School. But the season's still young for these Foresters. As we mentioned, this is their first game. They're without their star player, Sean Espinosa. And they have 10 freshmen on the roster. Jordan Matthews has been one of the points of offense for the Cougars tonight, along with an accompany of support from Isaac Rudel. And the man that just gave him that pass, Brett Hatton, making his presence known in his first game back. The Cougars desperately needed him, and it looked like he provided that offensive spark. Three-way passing around the bottom of the hoop. Jordan Matthews pump fakes, swings it over to Bishop Green, was thinking about the shot more than the ball on that pass. But Rudel entrance pass bobbled in, kicked it back out. Three, no good. Brett Hatton with the rebound. He throws it up off the side of the backboard. Foresters are going to almost get it away, but Kenta Jones swipes it from the pocket of Weingard. Rudel to Hatton, and it looks like the Cougars are going to pull it back out. They're trying to wind some clock and also be smart with it. Jordan Matthews heavily contested in the front by Parker LePage. Gets a screen from Rudel. 4, 3, 2, long three from Matthews. Doesn't fall. And a lob pass up to Foster. And he gets rejected by Hatton from behind.
As you mentioned earlier, Hatton has been a huge presence in this game, not only on the three-point arc, but just as an all-around great utility player.
Hatton got up, over, and slammed down that floater of a shot, which Foster, I think, thought was going to be an easy one, but a timeout's going to be called on the floor. 88-64, Cougars up by 24, 4:15 left. We'll be back in a few. Welcome back inside Geisman Gymnasium. We were just entertained with that last highlight play from Brett Hatton, the rejection. As it's all Cougars, but Adam Weingart's going to knock down a three. Cut the deficit to 21. Cougars have been all over on offense. They've been shooting the three. They've been shooting the paint and the offensive board. It's the best performance on offense all season, especially from a shooting side. Rudel gets his shot blocked by Jamal Clark, who gets it to Weingard, who's pushing it up. He'll underhand it. Looked like he was scared of Hatton, but J.J. Schwartz knocks it away from Clark. 3:35 remain in the game. Is Kenta Jones trying to shake off LePage. He gets it into an open lane. Swing it out to Hatton. He'll drive. And he knocks it in. Cougars at 90 points. Roser trying to keep his team. Give him some momentum on offense, but he's going to go back to the line. That's where we've seen a lot more of his points in this second half. Is a couple more hard fouls from the Cougars. Foul on J.J. Schwartz. This is by far the best performance from the Cougars on the offensive side of the ball. Season high 90 points with still 3:10 left to play. Roser misses the first free throw, and Jack Fleming's going to come into the game for Zach Foster. And for the first time we've seen tonight, Joel Childers is coming into the game. J.J. Schwartz is departing. But Macy, for the Cougars, two rough losses on the road to Rockford, 71-87 and 68-82, to come home in Geisman and come for a big lead. You got a couple more games left in your season. You got Aurora, Loris, Dominican, and then the NAC tourney. What are the Cougars going to take away from this game?
Definitely a lot more confidence. I mean, they're going to hopefully get their first win. And that in itself is going to feel awesome considering they are 0-8. Not ideal for the Cougars this season, but definitely going into these next few games knowing what they're capable of.
Brett Hatton shots off, but Isaac Rudel, the rebounding force, dishes it to Kenta Jones. And Kenta Jones, 5'7", is able to get that shot up, surrounded by a couple post players for the Foresters. Weingard for a three. He knocks it down. He's come on in the second half. He's been finding spots on the wings for the three-point shot, and that's where he's gotten most of his points. Matthews over to Hatton. Cougars trying to practice some offense, run their plays. They haven't had to do that much with the transition game they've been running. Childers' pass was intended for Rudel. And it looks like Weingard moving around Hatton, who was in the air. But under 2 minutes to play now, and Geisman, Cougars lead by 19. As Isaac Rudel swings it over to Matthews. Kenta Jones, entrance pass into Hatton. He's bodied by Clark. He's still able to find his way in, but takes a hard fall. Rudel comes up clean. Make sure Hatton's okay. Looks like he's grimacing a little bit. Had a hard fall. But a timeout called. Full timeout taken. We'll take a break here. 1:35 left in the game. Cougars up 94-73 over the Foresters. Welcome back inside the Geisman Gymnasium. We hope you enjoyed this Wednesday night basketball between the Cougars and the Foresters. It's been all Cougars. 94-73, their best offensive performance of the year, season high in points. And you could say the start of this game really dictated the rest of it. Cougars were on fire from behind the three-point line in the first half. Started the game 5 of 7 and just seemed like they couldn't miss. They've cooled off since, but they've still been able to keep their foot on the gas for the remainder of this game, even when it seemed like the Foresters were going to get out of that double-digit deficit.
Hey, fire's still burning. It's been burning the entire game.
Under a minute left. Matthews with the ball. Swings it over to Jones with 7 on the shot clock. He's going to drive. He's going to find his way in, spin around to Childers for 3. Childers' shot is no good, but a foul's going to be called. It's going to go the other way.
Fouls out number 14, Isaac Rudel, his third.
Isaac Rudel with the foul, his third. Going to the line now to shoot the free throws, Parker LePage.
Parker LePage.
48 seconds left in the game. I'd like to take a moment to thank everybody involved in the broadcast: Kristen Keller, Justin Bajorsev, PA announcer Alex Campbell, student workers Chandler Kerr, Julia Beers, Ryan McGee. Appreciate the work, especially in these COVID environments. It's a pleasure bringing you some basketball on a Wednesday night. It's been in some absence for a while. So Jackson Gaddy's going to check into the game. Emmanuel Wilson as well. And Joel Childers gets the inbound pass. As Kenta Jones is going to run point here. Try to drain as much clock off as he can. Going to run a set play. 4 cross for the Cougars. Gaddy wrapping it around, finds an open 3 spot. No good, shot clock off. We have 18 seconds left in this game. Andre Bennett with the layup. And the Cougars going to try to wind this clock down as Schmidt dribbles up the side. Almost loses it, though, as Kenta Jones corrals it. He's going to hold on to it. 2-1, and the Cougars get their first win of the season, defeating the Foresters 94-78, backed by an explosive offensive performance Macy, got to feel good if you're a Cougars fan getting the first win, but more importantly, the production on the offensive side as well as the intensity on defense, it was a great game for the Cougars.
Like we've talked about before, previous games for the Cougars, they've had a tough time on the offensive end with hitting their shots. They're just getting good opportunities, just not falling. That turned around really quick tonight. They started off really hot. Like I said, fires burning the entire game. They were able to get inside, outside, look for those easy buckets in, and using all areas of the floor to score, especially in transition as well.
Now we mentioned Brett Hatton was back in the game, and he made his presence known, as we've seen from behind the arc and in the paint. But what is one thing that surprised you or was a standout for you in tonight's game that was a difference maker?
Definitely the tempo on offense. In the previous games with the Cougars, they've let the other team control the tempo, and it gets them out of control and it gets them flustered. They did that to the Foresters tonight, and they were able to contain themselves, contain the defense from their offensive end, which really helped them in the long run.
We're going to be joined by Coach Kohler in a minute. We wanted to thank you guys all for tuning in. Macy Klein and I on the broadcast.
Validation for all the work that the guys are putting in, and it's like, when are you going to get that one? And so I feel really happy for the guys. I mean, we've been working at it. We've been close, but we just haven't been able to get it done, and tonight we did.
Well, 94 points, season high for you guys as a team, but what was awesome to see was the three-point shot fall, especially from guys like Isaac Rudel, who's struggled throughout the year. What was something that was worked on throughout practice or changed in the offensive scheme to allow that to happen and open up early on?
Yeah, we just want to generate better shots. I mean, early on we weren't shooting the ball very well, but it's because we weren't taking very good shots. So we talk about the paint touches and the shots coming off, how many 1 or 2 paint touches, and we show the guys the points per possession. And we're like, you don't have to be a genius to figure this out. When you get into the paint and you play inside out, you get better looks and you make shots because they're easier. So the last couple of games, I really like the looks that we're getting, and we're playing unselfishly.
Unselfishly is a great way to describe how your offense was tonight. Usually we've seen one guy stand out above the rest, Jordan Matthews usually, but it seemed like tonight Jordan Matthews, along with other players, Isaac Rudel, Brett Hatton, and we even see Jaron Gaddy coming off the bench, explosive 5 points. How does it feel to know that your team right now is functioning at a level that is going to carry on throughout the season?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's one of the main things we talked about when we were on the other side was we've had guys go for 25 and 27, but then it's been like 6 and 4. We said we're a program where we're 18, 16, 14, 10, 10, 8. And I haven't seen the numbers, but I think we're probably close to that with 4 or 5, double-figure scorers. And then obviously, our goal is we always want to be at our best, in the final weeks. And we still have so far to go, but we're taking big strides.
Well, Cougars get their first win of the season. They're going to take on Aurora this weekend, Friday and Saturday. 3-2. Coach Kohler, thanks for joining me. Congrats on the win, and we'll see you next time.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you all for tuning in for Cougars basketball. I'm Carter Gladhill signing off for the entire production crew here at CUC. Thank you for tuning in. Stay safe if you're traveling. Get home and go Cougars.